Welcome back to the world of Age of Empires 2. Right now we are currently spectating RandomCivil, who is playing as the Spanish and in yellow, while we have Surya, who I believe is actually Slam, playing as red and the Huns. And the Huns, of course, pretty default civilization. Spanish, not used a lot, but of course still a pretty decent civilization. They get pretty good, well, they get pretty much every trash unit to its advanced form, so there's no reason not to use them, as well as getting the powerful conquistadors, which are undoubtedly one of the most powerful units you can have in Castle Age, because they just utterly destroy everything. So I'm sure there's going to be at least one person out there who asks, why are so many games of Viper playing? And it's because I'm trying to mix it up at the moment. I'm trying to mix it up with civilizations, maps, things like that. And he always picks a random civilization on this account. So that's why I've been showing it so much, to show you guys some diversity and how different styles are played and how different civilizations are played. And of course, like I said, Spanish as well. It means generally the default thing they'll do is they'll do some small feudal harass, because their goal is to get into Castle Age and get those conquistadors out as fast as possible, because that's where their bonus really starts to kick in. So wouldn't be surprised at all if we see 18-19 minute castle, because he'll be trying to minimize on that feudal harass, and then go in with the conquistadors and just start destroying everything, and then probably back that up with some rams, maybe some knights, because we do know Spanish, quite good knights as well. In fact, most of their gold heavy units are pretty decent. So that's really how it works out for them. Huns, we all know the story. We'll come over here while I talk about Huns actually. Huns, of course, we see the archery range go down, usually the double, goes into the blacksmiths. We generally see a pure archer miss, usually not a lot of skirmishes in there. However, if they do go for the drush, usually they do get a few early skirmishes in, just because of the fact they don't have that gold up enough to really start with it, and then they just advance up Castle Age and go cavalry archer. However, in this game, cavalry archer's conquistador, I know which one I would definitely prefer to be fighting with, if it's on equal terms. So that's how it's going to come down to, and unless Surya can pull something out magically, get a lot of harassment done in Feudal Age, and keep Viper's economy down so that he can't get a castle up as soon as he gets to Castle Age, he's going to be in a good position. But if Viper gets that early castle up and just starts pumping out these conquistadors, there's not a lot he's going to be able to do to stop them. He's going to be able to get skirmishes, but of course conquistadors are a mounted unit, are going to be able to run around here behind his lumber camp, are going to be able to sit on this hill here as well, because as you can see, Slam is in quite a big crater kind of area. And apart from that, there's not really a lot to tell. And actually seeing this gold here, barracks going up at this stage, it says to me we're about to see a drush from the player right there, which is something we don't see a lot, and, well, not that we don't see a lot, but that we don't see a lot with Huns. However, it looks like he might not be, honestly, just because of the timing at the moment. It's none being created yet. He's definitely got the resources there. Looks like he was just getting that early barracks up, and he's going to go for some early harass. So if we have a quick look at the positioning of our players, we've got the gold mine towards the back here, lumber to the side here for Surya, and he's got pretty much nothing on this side here, so he doesn't have a lot of choices when it comes down to woods. He does have this one in the back here, however it's going to be extremely hard to defend, but if he pairs it up with that gold mine and plonks the town centre down there, he should be alright, but until then he'll be in a bit of trouble. He does have this wood and this stone over here, but again, it's forward. If you can avoid it, you never want to put your resources forward, unless there's obviously a massive bonus that you can get. Just because of the fact that you don't need to, and the fact they get harassed so much. So there we go, so Viper has gone up right now. Like I said, he's going to be going for that fast one. He went up with 20 villages, which again, it's not uncommon to see someone go up with 20, but it's definitely not standard. Standard seems to be 22 population up, so the 21 there. But of course, he's going to be able to absolutely push his economy advantage, going for these deer here, and so we've got Viper going for scouts. Should have been able to tell it a lot sooner, because he does have the 3 farms up already. Let's have a quick look over here. Yes, and so both players are going to be going scouts, as we can see by both of the stables, plus the extra farms on and the amount of villages on wood. Plus we have no one on gold yet, so that generally says to me that they're going to be going scouts, because not usually someone goes pure trash. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not seen, but it's really uncommon that someone does. Small population problem there for Viper. However, going to get out of that fairly quickly. There we go. Come back over to Slam, and here we go. The scouts are out from both players right now. I'm going to slow this down because we want to see both attacks. And here we go. Scouts going in. However, we can see Slam does have those spears out already. It looks like Viper only just starting to get a few spears out. Doesn't have one defending his lumber camp yet, but does have one out in this section here. However, it is going forward with that spear, which is interesting enough, because it means when these guys get hit, there's not going to be a lot he can do to defend unless he's in the area with his cavalry. However, here we go, going to be able to do that. Losing the hill advantage there, though, is something you never want to fight without. unless you completely outmass. Let's slow this down and have a look at the harass over here. Something definitely happened. There we go. Another house coming up here, so Viper starting that wall off. Very smart play, getting most of his resources back off that, so forcing these scouts to come back around this section here, which means he's got the advantage there. He's pushed them back quite well. We do have multiple spearmen at the moment going across the map for Viper. Viper going to be able to counter those scouts with relative ease when you've got one spear there. One spear does do a lot of damage, and here we go, might have an engagement here. Nope, calling that back just in time. And of course this spear is going to do ridiculous damage when it comes down to it. And there we go, so Viper should have seen that archery range go down, so we know his opponent's going to start transitioning right about now. Scouts, of course, going to be able to still do a fair amount of damage versus archers, but when it comes down to it, if archers start to outmatch your cavalry, you're in a lot of trouble. Of course, knights, though, able to absolutely obliterate archers, as we well know. But Viper playing quite defensively right now, hasn't got a lot of harassment in, but he's prevented Slam getting this harassment here, which is the main thing he doesn't want to see. Because he wants to get that early castle up, and I've no doubt that he will be advancing quite soon, honestly. But he wants to get that early advance so he can start pushing that Conquistador advantage, and just the Spanish advantage that you get with that. Spanish, of course, having great tech. Being arguably one of the best civilizations in the game as well. So, at the moment we're just seeing a bit of scout harass from both players. Both players not really get anything. I don't think I've seen a villager get taken out yet this game. I would actually love to have a counter to see if we could get them killed off, but you know, it's a fairly old game, not going to get what you want. And Blacksmith going up for Viper, so it says to me that he's starting to think about advancing, he's getting the resources together. Spears here going to be able to do a fair amount of damage to these cavalry, however they will get picked off very quickly. And there we go, getting them out. And very, very close to advancing now. And is he on stone yet? So he has started gathering stone, so he is going to go for that early castle. And the thing I really want to know is, is he going to put the castle forward, or is he going to go with the back castle? Like a defensive castle, which would sit around here, this area, maybe even over here to defend this lumber area. But the question to me is he going to go forward with it, or is he going to sit back? Very smart there, not over-committing with his resources that he has available, military resources. And what do we got from Slam? And we can see Viper's already gone up. So if we swap over to here, we can see getting ready to advance, not quite there yet. So Viper is going to have a small advantage when it comes to that. However, when it comes down to army count, we can see that Surya definitely has, well, Slam definitely has the advantage. However, Viper putting up a lot of defensive towers and getting a great defensive position up. So he's going to be able to defend quite well when it comes down to it. So he's going to be able to get the castle up in no time and be able to do that damage. And some scout harass here, but nothing major done. Can't see any dead bodies anywhere, so we should be alright. Archers here going to be able to harass these villages just maybe. How many tiles do we have there? It doesn't look like they're just going to make it. Do they have the range upgrade? They do have the range upgrade, but it is not enough right now. He's going to need to get that next one up in Castle Age. He has started advancing, and there we go. So Viper's already up, and Town Center going down there. So he is focused on booming his economy more than getting that castle up. But of course, once he gets that castle up, it's going to be able to just change the game so much. The same as this town center, he's going to be able to start booming. And if you advance before your opponent, why not? It's always a good plan to go with. So let's just slow it down so we can check the populations. We have Viper currently on 45 and Slam on 61. So Slam's definitely taking the population lead at the moment. And I would say it's mainly due to the fact that he has this big army count. But Viper's got tech on his side at this point and is Spanish, so until those Huns can start getting out a big mass of cavalry archers, there's not a lot they can do. Knights being produced as well by Viper, something we don't usually see against a Hun player, or at least in a Hun versus Hun game, just because of the fact that they get drilled down so easy by mass cavalry archers. Slam going up now, so he is a fair bit behind Viper. Viper getting 2 town centers up, so he's going for a 3 town center boom right now, and those actually look quite interesting there. It's nice. See all this stuff, it's pretty good. But Viper getting harassed over here. So with these knights, he's going to be able to pick this off extremely quickly. However, his main threat's going to be those spearmen there. And the fact he got forced off that wood as well is not going to be helpful. It's going to stop these farms from being reseeded here. I'm going to slow this down just so we can see what's actually going on. A few idle villages there because he doesn't really have a lot he can do. And there we go, defensive castle is going down. All these villages here being put to good use. If they can't be gathering, may as well be doing something. We have a lot of spears actually in play right now for Slam, something you don't usually see. But, you know, he's up against complete cavalry composition, so he may as well. Losing that house here, and this castle might go up just in time to prevent these guys going any further in. And there we go, so the castle is up, and it's going to be able to start putting out the damage, as well as getting those conquistadors out. He has more than enough gold to start going for it, and more than enough food. So he's going to be able to start pushing them out, and there we go, so he's already got some on the way. And these knights here as well, going to be able to do a lot of damage to these archer units, especially if they get caught up down here. Going to speed it up again just because we don't want to waste any time. And running out down here, will he just go for the hill advantage or is he going for a direct attack? And using that hill advantage there to kill off these scouts extremely quickly. And it looks like Slam might come out on top of this fight here. And those knights are getting picked off fairly quickly. We do have one lone spear down here going to town on that barracks, and crossbows and spears down over there, so not a lot else they can really do. But we do have a massive Conquistadors coming out for Viper right now, and once they get on play, he's going to be able to kill off those villagers so quickly, because as we know, Conquistadors do have a massive attack of 16, 75 hit points, 6 range, and they are a mounted unit, so they can't really be countered very easily at all. In fact, the best way to counter them is... In fact, there you go, I want your opinions on this. What do you think the best way to counter Conquistadors is? Naturally, you've got the Skirmisher combination, which you can use, but of course the Conquistadors, like cavalry archers, can just outrun them. So what do you think the best composition to take out Conquistadors is? Even Mangonels as well can still get taken out really quickly by them, just because of the fact they can maneuver around really quickly, and they have that ranged attack, so they don't really have much trouble just maneuvering around to get rid of them. So right now, Slam's starting to look like he's going to be in a bit of trouble. He hasn't been able to get the harassment on that he wants. He's going to be able to get some here with these crossbows, but they will be picked off by these Conquistadors very quickly if he's not careful, and naturally, if he goes for a straight engagement, these Conquistadors are just going to absolutely gut these archers without a lot, because if we look at the crossbow, 35 hit points, look at the Conquistador, 75 hit points, you know how that's going to end, and here we go. And trying to mass out this one, we do have the armor upgrades, both of them actually on these Conquistadors as well, which is going to do a lot. And Viper microing quite well. He might not even losing a Conquistador. That is how you do it, guys. Losing that stone pile there, but we do see, and there we go, another forward castle going up. Well, not a forward castle, another one, but we do see a forward castle going up for Viper. Viper going to be able to start stressing this advantage which he has with these Conquistadors. Going to be able to start pumping them out. He's got his 3 town centers, he's got his boom on the way, he's got his 2 castles up. Well, his second one's going up at the moment. And he's going to be able to start pressing this so badly right now. Going to be able to just take out all these units from range. These cavalry archers and crossbows are just starting to go toe-to-toe with these Conquistadors. Of course, crossbows are going to have that one better range, but cavalry archers are going to be sitting fairly behind. And unless he exploits that range advantage like he is here, stutter stepping, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Monk, of course, being a good combination, but getting killed off quite quickly, so there's not a lot you can do. Knights out in play as well, something we don't see a lot from Huns, which is very interesting, and getting a conversion there, actually very interesting play, but of course monks do get taken down extremely quickly, and here we go, we're just seeing a lot of harassment. 2 forward siege workshops going up by Viper there, and Viper's starting to absolutely drill this advantage home. He's up by 900 points right now, which is no small amount, and he's just been able to absolutely wipe this side of the base here. With the amount of Conquistadors he's going to be able to produce, with the economy he has, and the fact he's got a double castle up already, especially because we're only at the 30-minute mark, he's going to be able to start pressing that advantage really, really, really badly. I cannot stress how many villages he's going to be able to kill off with this and how easy. If they hit, of course, ballistics is always a wanted research for these guys. But, you know, if you don't have it available, just point and shoot will do enough. And so we've got our forward castle continuing to go up with that. Second siege workshop about to go up. And most likely going to be able to go with the battering rams as well, just due to the fact he's going to be able to take out these town centers and other buildings so quickly. And it's good to see a game where Spanish get utilized like this, because they don't usually get used, despite the fact they are a really good civilization. We can see that we do have these skirmishes out, not doing an insane amount of damage to these Conquistadors, and Conquistadors, of course, going to be able to outdo these skirmishes, just because of the fact that skirmishes do have a great defense. They have 6 versus Pierce, but the fact is, Conquistadors still do 16 damage, so there's still a lot you're going to have to do to outweigh them. And yes, battering rams are on the way right now. We are going to see quite a lot of damage here, and wouldn't be surprised actually once the battering rams get into it that Slam will have to resign, just due to the fact his only army consists of Pierce units, and unless he wants to take his villagers off the line here and start doing some actual damage to the rams with them, he's going to lose all his economy. And either at this stage, if you lose your economy and you're up against a bunch of Conquistadors, there's nothing that you can do about it. Just absolutely nothing. Once you get outmassed, you're outmassed. Here we have these guys going toe-to-toe. Monks out in play though, so quite a few monks going to try and get those conversions, which will be really important. For every Conquistador he recovers, it's -1 for the enemy, +1 for him. And he's going to be able to do that extra bits of damage. We currently have 4 rams, 5th one being created there. No more forward castle, as he doesn't need it. He's got his 2 castles up, he's got double Conquistador play, which is exactly what he wants. And how many upgrades? And we're looking, we've got all the upgrades on those conquistadors for the moment. And come on, Rams, we got 7 Rams being created, so Viper is going to be going pretty hard on this attack, and Slam's going to be very hard pressed to defend it. Like I said, he's got 1 Knight there, which naturally it will be able to do a considerable amount of damage to that Ram, but if it's taken out, there's not going to be a lot he can do about it. And here we go, the Rams go in, going to be able to take out this town center over here. Conquistadors is going to be able to just drill away at these villages here, and hiding in there isn't going to do anything when you've got 7 battering rams on your town center. So if we just look at that fall, and villagers getting picked off there very quickly, all these villagers going to be taken out of that town center very quickly, and they are going to be in a lot of trouble with all these gunned horsemen around them. Wouldn't be surprised at all if Slam throws in the towel anytime soon. We do see quite a mass of skirmishes though, and he does have quite a few knights and light cavalry out in play, and he's going to be able to probably take out most of these rams if these conquistadors don't stop them. And it looks like they're doubling back here to make sure they do. And here we go, going to be able to do a lot of damage to these rams, but is it too little too late? Just due to the fact he has lost a lot of his economy, he's going to lose his entire army in this engagement if he keeps it up. But we are going to see Rams coming in through this section here as well, multi-prong attack there. It's going to be impossible to hold down both these bases, well, town centers at once. And here we go, losing most of his army here. And 1 more knight to go. Village is just not able to repair that town center fast enough. And here we go, Conquistadors going to town on those villages, losing that town center here. Next in line will be this area over here, and this town center down here as well. We do see quite a few town centers out for Slam though. However, he's just not been able to keep up with the military play. His economy has been superb throughout the game. However, he's just, like I said, he's just not been able to keep up with the military play. Viper's just been doing too well. He's been getting so much damage. These Conquistadors definitely turning the tides there. And I would say it's just about a good game. There's not a lot he can do, so I'm just going to speed this up unless we see another big fight. But what the hey, Viper's got the complete area under control. And looks like this town center might be next on the target. Has he lost this one? Hasn't lost this one down here, but it will be next. And here we go. Rams on it. Conquistadors going to town on the villages yet again. The same thing that we've seen over and over. And honestly, right now, these knights are all he has. If he loses these knights, it's good game. And Conquistadors going there. And losing these knights. Not a lot he can do now, especially when he's outmassed like this, and Viper bringing in the light cavalry as well. And that sealed it there, nail in the coffin, all these rams being able to just go to town on these buildings, Conquistadors killing off all his villages, and he's just managed to take over this entire base without too much trouble, basically. Conquistadors, of course, an extremely powerful unit having the Castle Age, which is why I'm surprised we don't see them so often. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that game with something different with the Spanish, so hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow in another video.